last Kids in the Hall question and kind of tying it together with the Beatles. The Beatles had the Cavern Club, and the Kids in the Hall had their own club where they started word started building. And what was this club and where was it? And did you ever get to? Were you at these shows?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I was at all those shows at
The
the
Rivoli.
Rivoli
Yeah.
Club in Toronto. So the Rivoli was a restaurant in the front and a little cabaret theater in the back, and all the rock bands would play there, including mine, the Gravelberries. And so we knew the Rivoli very well. And when the Kids in the Hall started doing these residencies, I think it was every Monday or Tuesday night, depending on when it was, they would stage shows there, and they would have like they built a side stage which wasn't there usually, so they could have two stages going at once and play with the lights. So they would have like a scene end and then another scene comes up in a different part of the room, and they really use the space. And so the Rivoli is like a the sixth Beatle, if you will. It's like it's a part of their lore, which was great because in the documentary we finally got them to come sit down in the Rivoli and do one of the main interviews, the master interview they call it, is them five sitting on the dance floor in the Rivoli,
Yeah.
like at tables, and they have the stage behind them where it all happened. And we never got to do that with the Beatles, so this is cool that we got to do it with the Kids in the Hall. And actually, there's a plaque at the Rivoli now for the Kids in the Hall that was just commemorated last week actually. And I was pretty excited about that. But yeah, the Rivoli was a big character in my book and also in the movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, that strip of nightclubs in Queen Street West in Toronto, my wife and I, when we left Toronto in 1997, we had our going away party at the next door, next to that place called the Horseshoe Tavern, which was also a legendary club for other reasons, like punk rock and everything had happened there. Oh, and the Rivoli, I should point out too, used to be many different things over the years. It was a cabaret theater, but it was also a communist socialist bookstore in the 1950s or something. And before that, I think it was some kind of revolutionary the hall, like where they would meet to talk about like workers' rights and stuff like that. So it has this long history on Queen Street, and the Kids in the Hall kind of cemented it as a comedy spot. So a lot of other troupes would play there. A lot of comedy troupes started around that time, and including The Vacant Lot, which was Mark McKinney's brother, Nick McKinney, who is producer of Kids in the Hall Comedy Punks. So it all works out.
Look at that.
It's all connected. We all know each